All right, everybody, we'll get started in just a minute. Some more people are coming in.
Lo-fi is pumping.
All right. Sorry about not muting on Zoom there, everybody. I did the mute everybody thing, but I guess I forgot that muting participants does not mute me. All right, so welcome to the first Engineering Product Weekly Kickoff of 2022. Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you all had a good holiday season. Mine was nice, and I'm excited to get things rolling and have some exciting things happen for the DAO and for engineering in particular this year. So let's please kick things off with appreciations. Not much has happened yet this year, so we don't have much to be appreciative of yet, I think.
I appreciate LPX for noticing the stuff going on with Colony and the homograph attacks. I wasn't looking for those, so I appreciate that. Now I will be.
Just saying, I appreciated the break and coming into 2022 fresh, and yeah, breaks are good.
Just wanted to appreciate Adam Constance and Perklin for the data transfer work that was done last week.
Yeah, and I appreciated last week. I spent some time and drove around and went to visit with some people in the work stream, and Adam and Will, and it was just really nice to catch up in person with a bunch of folks. Saw DeFi also, and Kevin, who's in the audience. So yeah, it was a nice time of connecting.
Yeah, second, definitely appreciated that, your travels, and nice conversation to round out the year.
And for the applesauce. Thank you, Josh.
It was really good too.
Yes, the applesauce. All right, let's get started, everybody. Here we've got our list, and DeFi is going to kick us off.
Alrighty, GM everyone. I'm not looking at the Zoom because I've got a new machine and haven't installed it yet, but going to go through the slide anyway. So the open source stuff, we are working towards the V2 launch. That's going to be our biggest kind of focus so that we can put some marketing collateral behind that and generate a bit of noise. So linked out to the go, no-go sheet there. Give any of us a shout if you want to see that and you're not able to. Thanks to Ocean for the tracking doc for the PRs. The stats haven't changed from last week. I just checked there, but 11 contributors, 4 repos, 4 new contributors, and 3 new bounties. Bounties are going to be a big focus early this year and going into this year. Trying to scale out the engineering team and just generally do like more planning and spec writing for stuff so people can come in and easily start contributing there, which is going to be great. We've also got a new release process that we're going to be trying this week, starting this week, to get us on a more regular release cadence. So trying to cut a release on, I believe, Mondays and Wednesdays and get those tested for 12 to 24 hours and then get those out into production. With maybe the intent of going full CD in the future, but at least getting us onto a regular release cadence so that users can get stuff, especially after we do this V2 launch, and get features and bug fixes into users' hands quickly, have a lot more stability. Before that V2 launch, account pages are coming. This kind of fixes our one of the weirdest UX things, like the Bitcoin account selection stuff. So we'll have some kickoff work on that this week, and that shouldn't be too difficult to get in. And the Cosmos Unchained work is continuing as well. So that's getting generic support for Cosmos, and then more specifically Osmo for that bounty work. So the work stream's helping out there. As usual, we're accepting contributions for the open source stuff. Appreciate all the people that have come in and looking to get started with the repo. Please point anyone that you think would be interested or keen to work on it, and we're more than happy to get them going. So, like I said, scaling engineering is going to be one of our big focuses this year. So it's pretty much for me. I'll hand it over to Kevin for coin stuff.
Yeah, thanks. So on the back end, we are basically taking all of the Golang Cosmos / Osmo kind of proof of concept work that had been done in the weeks leading up to the holiday and moving in officially into the main Unchained repo. The strategy was that we wanted to keep everything in the single mono repo just for ease of development and not having to keep track of a bunch of different repos for each language. So it'll basically be split into different language directories underneath the one single Unchained repo. So that is currently being moved through. This week, the focus is going to be on making some formal design documentation on the Golang architecture and about adding new coin stacks. This might be general purpose enough to also just include just adding new coin stacks in general, but with the focus currently on kind of the Golang architecture and the Cosmos coins right now, I think we're going to kind of keep it in that zone more so than holistically. We'll see how that comes along, and hoping that that leads to a formal story breakdown for all this Cosmos work to get it across and officially fleshed out and into the web v2. And then the last remaining thing would be some Unchained load testing. So we currently have the one public Unchained cluster. We haven't done any formal load testing in the recent past. For that, we want to have a good sense of what kind of load we can handle. So it'll be testing the API kind of P95 response times, as well as trying to get a good feel on RabbitMQ, consumption of those queues, that Unchained ingestion pipeline, and making sure that that could stand up to all of the new traffic that will presumably come in upon release. And I think that's all I got on the back end. I don't know if there's a Will or Sam for SREs.
Yeah, I don't think so. And Will is out for most of the week, I think. So, security team, Mr. Nerd Hair, you're here.
Hey, everybody. So before we went on break, we got Create React App 5 and sub-resource integrity stuff into Web v2. That makes significant progress towards build determinism. There are still a few things left to sort out, like environment variables getting embedded. That borked up, apparently. I put it in the wrong order, so that's reverted, and I'm working on that today. Over the break, I reviewed a bunch of ShapeShift legacy code and was able to get it released at open source before I offboarded. So check out github.com/ShapeShiftLegacy if you want to see that stuff. Security Workstream has a new GPG key, and we'll be setting up key signing parties, whatever. I'll get in touch with people so we can get your keys signed by that, so other people can trust them. The NFT Hall of Fame needs a spec out so that it can be bountied out. I'm working on that this week as well. And the environment as JSON stuff and web workers, I'll be looking to finish by the end of the week to support the V2 hard launch. And that's pretty much it for me.
Thank you, Mr. Nerder. So after a nice end of year break and while kind of having a mega Monday and regrouping on Cosmos stuff that Kevin and DeFi touched on, and also regrouping on our focus towards an official V2 launch. Aside from that, I'm working on how large bounties can integrate cleanly with our work stream and broader DAO efforts. So kind of one of the bigger growing pains here, sort of figuring out how to manage this dedicated work stream in parallel with bounty efforts that come up. And I'm speaking specifically about larger bounties, things that might span weeks to months versus quick bug tickets that are, a day or two of effort. And the last thing I have is we have demos on the agenda for 10 a.m. Mountain Time on Wednesday. So please join us for those.
Cool. All right. Well, yeah, as Adam kind of pointed out, engineering is we're getting our legs back this week. So we had the break, and then we also had some transitions with we still had some ShapeShift employees last week that have transitioned, and then that transitioned into official DAO workstream workers. And then Elmut, who was been in the work stream and was a centralized employee up until the 31st, he's taking some time off. He's planning to come back to the work stream, but not for a couple months. And he's working on the Osmosis bounty, but isn't even planning on working on that for a couple weeks. So we're definitely doing a little bit of reorienting right now. With that, we're also going to be testing a new release process so that we can get releases out more frequently and more consistently. DeFi talked about that. And then recruiting. So I put in engineering public. I'm going to post it in announcements. And I know John in particular has been chomping at the bit. You are free to tweet, John, that we are have open positions in the engineering work stream. The job board gives the job descriptions. We've posted for a senior engineer and a mid-level engineer, and then the job descriptions at the bottom and the how to apply section link to a form. It's a Google form to apply for the position. And then for me personally, I'm also going to this week be working on the December work stream review. Then we're halfway through the budget cycle. Started in November and it ends in February. And I promised a halfway budget summary. So I'm going to need to put that together. And then it's time to start working on the next budget cycle, right? Got to put it together, make sure it has enough time to get through governance so that it's good to go on March 1st. Cool. Bethany, Diggy.
Thanks, Josh. GM, everybody. Welcome back and Happy New Year. So we have a lot of stuff going on this week. Mobile, again, we've just been still having conversations, what we're leaning towards for the future of the mobile application. And at the moment, it seems like we're all still leaning towards doing like a wrapped version of the open source web v2 So TBD on that. But that it looks like the direction we're leaning towards right now. We've been working on the UX for providing liquidity in the new web app. Been doing a bunch of usability testing on that. That's in pretty good shape. We have a couple tweaks we want to make. The bonding usability tests, we have gotten a lot more feedback on that. So Beard and I are going to circle back and make some more changes and then do another round of usability testing. And as you guys know, the Cosmos Osmos support is underway on the engineering workstream, and staking UX is ready for that. So anything we can do to support that effort. And then continuing some Web v2 UI improvements in our design QA in preparation for the post soft launch. On Juno, we got some information from them not last week, the week before. Now that Beard's back too, we're going to circle back with him and hopefully be able to move forward with getting a fiat on and off ramp providers in the new web app. Display DeFi positions. This is just something that Beard and I are always tackling as we look at all these different protocols we're trying to integrate in the new web app. And then on .com, Hoff showed an example of this last week, but we have like the supported asset list that's powered by an API. I think there's just some final tweaks he's making. And then hopefully we'll get that live. And then working with marketing and growth on anything that they need creative-wise for the post-soft launch. Biggest priorities this week, Cosmos, of course, Web v2 improvements. Beard and DeFi are working on, as he mentioned, like multiple accounts for assets like Bitcoin and how to handle that in the new web app. And then the UX for the bonding, just getting those changes made that we want to make and getting some more usability testing done. The alpha proposal passed to have analytics. So we have some technicalities to work out with them, just like paperwork kind of things. And then once we're, signed on the dotted line and stuff, we will schedule some meetings to start talking about how we move that forward and getting like an alpha versus a private version of the new web app. And that's it for me. I will see if Fox McCloud wants to add anything. Otherwise, that's it. Thanks, guys.
Sorry about that. Wasn't expecting to jump up today. Yeah, nothing for me. Diggy covered it all. GM to everyone, and Happy New Year.
Great. Thank you. Any other questions or announcements from anybody? Cool. So the one thing I wanted to leave you all with is particularly as things were coming back into work, right? We had the holidays. A little bit about the last time we had one of these, I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I just got back from that silent meditation retreat. And one of the things that I learned that was super interesting about breath that might be of interest to you is because, with a bunch starting to come at us and a bunch of change happening and getting back into work, it's always good to just take a breath every once in a while. And the more that we can notice about the breath, the more it can kind of call our attention or hold our attention for a little while. So one of the things I learned is that just based on the physics of air pressure, if you just do take a little bit of effort to empty your lungs of air, so obviously that's the exhale, then you'll notice that the fact that there's greater air pressure outside your body than inside your lungs, air is just automatically going to enter into your lungs. And then you can just exert a little bit of effort on the exhale and notice that by the way physics and air pressure works, the air pressure will enter into your lungs, meaning air will come in until the air pressure stabilizes. Now, obviously, you can expand your inhale further and create more, but just that little bit is something that you might enjoy playing with as you take a breath, take a quick break while we're all getting back into the swing of things with work. All right, cool, everybody. Well, thank you for being here.
Josh?
Yes, never was.
Just wanted to mention something that I forgot to mention in the morning stand-up this morning.
Yeah.
There was a LPX brought an issue up to the security thread about some cloning of colony addresses within Colony. And I don't know if everyone saw that while it was on break and stuff. I know Ron kind of pointed out and tagged a lot of people, but there was some type of funny business that was happening on Colony with some replication of addresses. And basically, I just wanted to bring that to light to everyone on the call.
Yeah, so that's thanks for that. So we need to be careful when we're paying people in Colony. And the key is you can always paste in an address, right? And you'll know you'll go to the right person. They were impersonating and getting really close to people's names and using the same avatar. So if you're just looking people up by name, you might accidentally pay the wrong this person who was spoofing everybody to try to get their pay.
Yeah,
Mr.
thanks.
Nerdhair?
Yeah, and always double check your addresses. Unlike on Discord, we don't have a mod team on that can kick people off Colony if they impersonate somebody. I don't believe that is a thing that exists yet over there. So everyone just has to do their individual due diligence. If you see anybody requesting a payment, you remember that Colony allows payments through as long as nobody objects within 3 days. So if somebody requests a payment and their address doesn't match up, raise the alarm so that they can be objected to. That is financially advantageous to you because you'll get some of their cash when their thing gets voted down. So hopefully that problem will correct itself. But anyway.
Thanks for the additional information, Mr. Nerdhair. Anything else from anyone? All right. Have a great week, everybody, and a great year. Look forward to seeing you around the DAO.
Thank you.
Everyone.